Here is our final review for Math 1. Let's start with the very first problem. I'm only going to do one problem each. I'll provide the answer key for the rest. So I gave 2 problems per question, so you guys can try as well. So I'll start with number 1. What is the value of x in this equation? So whenever you're looking for x, that means we are solving, which means we are going to use inverse operations. Okay, so let's look for x. First step, we're going to distribute -3. Okay, if you're not organized, you're gonna get confused. So make sure you put the equals line here. So we're gonna distribute -3. -3 times positive 3x, that's gonna be -9x. Don't forget to multiply that negative. -3 times -2, that is positive 6 equals 6. Next step, we're going to combine like terms. Which ones are like terms? It will have to be 4x and -9x because they both have x's. That's -5x plus 6 equals 6. Third step, we subtract 6 on both sides because this is a constant and this is a constant. Okay, 6 is already by itself, so we have to move this 6, not this one. Okay, make sure you understand the reason. So then we go ahead and cancel. And then this one cancels out as well. We bring down the -5x. Just because this canceled out does not mean there's nothing there. We still put a 0. And then we go ahead and divide by -5. We divide by -5 because it's next to the x. Okay, therefore x equals 0. Okay, so my first step was to distribute. Next step is to combine like terms. The third step is to solve for x or inverse operations. This explanation is enough for me. Okay, so now let's go to number 2. Solve the equation y equals mx plus b for the variable x. Again, we are solving. That means we are doing inverse operations. Okay, so we have y equals mx plus b. We are solving for x. That means we are going to isolate x. So here's x. That means we want x by itself. So first things first, remember it's easier to get rid of a friend than a boyfriend or girlfriend. So we're going to subtract b on both sides. I'm going to put b to the side and not under the y because we know that they are not the same. I'm going to cancel this out. So this is going to look like -b. Since there's no sign in the front, it's going to be plus y is equal to mx. Bring this down. And then we want x by itself, so the one we have to move is the m. So we're going to divide the boyfriend and girlfriend here. We're going to remove the m and divide it on both sides. You can either write it like this, or you can put them all under one fraction. So therefore your answer is x equals, I'm just going to rewrite it, y minus b over m. It could be y minus b or -b plus y. It's still solving equations. Remember, if they are not the same letter, make sure they're not in the same line so you don't get confused. Okay, so remember, this is literal equations. This is solving equations with letters. So my first step was to isolate x. Next step was to move b. And then third step, divide by m. Okay. All right, number 5. solve for x, it's exactly like number 1, except it's actually less steps. So my first step is to distribute. I'm going to distribute. That's 5x minus 20 equals 10. And I forgot to say, pause and do these problems right here. And check your answers in Google Classroom. So 5x minus 20. Now we have a two-step equation. We're going back to this step over here, right? We get rid of the friend first, which is a 20. So we're going to add 20 on both sides. We're adding 20 because this 10 is already by itself and 10 does not have an x. And so we're moving the 20 because the 10 does not have an x. If this was 10x, we would move the 5x because they would have the x's. Okay, then you just add, bring down the 5x equals 30. We're going to divide by 5 because it's next to the x. So we get x equals 6. Okay, if you guys mastered this first one right here, this one will be just the same. Okay, second step was to move 20 to the right side, and then third step is divide by 5. Okay, number 6. What is the equation of the horizontal line that passes through the point 1, 2? So what you would do is you would graph it. Where is 1, 2 on the graph? Remember, this is x and this is y. So we're going to look at 1 on the x, 1 on the x, and then 2 on the y. Okay? And the point would be right here. It's basically where they meet, right? And what's a horizontal line? Okay, horizontal line is left to right, vertical is up and down. So in this case, you want horizontal to be flat. What's the equation of this? Right? And you have to remember, it's a line. If it's a line, some will be positive slope, some would be negative slope. And what do you remember about a flat line? The m, the slope would be 0. And my y-intercept, or sorry, my b is actually 2. So my equation is y equals 0x plus 2, right? mx plus b. So actually my equation is just y equals 2. Okay, so to explain this, I want you guys to graph it. And then 2, since it's a horizontal line, the slope is 0, right? Since it's a horizontal line, the slope is 0. So third step, so y equals 2 is my equation. Let's put EQ, okay? So 3 steps, all right? So just another example, what if I said the line passes through 2, 3, and it's a horizontal line. So then your equation would now just be y equals 3, okay? This only happens when it's a horizontal line. All right. Let's do number 9. What is an equation in point slope form of a line that passes through -6, -10, and 2 and 6? Let's remind ourselves of the point slope form. Excuse me. What is an equation in point slope form? Point slope form, if you look at 1.3, I believe, and unit 2.3, no, 2.2, Your equation is y minus y1 equals m x minus x1, right? And it says it passes through the points this. So then we need a point. Our point is x1, y1, and our slope, we don't know. How do we find the slope? Remember, you make your box, xy, we get -6, -10, 2 and 6. How far away is -6 from 2? Let's figure it out. -6 is right here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2. How far away is 62? Since it's going up, it's going to be positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be a +8. How far away is -10 to +6? Let's use a different color. Let's do -10 here. -10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. +16 because it's going from a negative to a positive. And remember, my slope is y over x. So that's 16 over 8, which is 2. So my slope is 2. My x1, y1, you could choose whatever you want. I'll choose a -6, -10. Let's see. My x1, since it's a -6, it's going to be a +6. My y1, since it's going to be a -10, +10. My slope, we leave it alone, minding its own business. It stays as a 2, and then bring everything else down. Okay? So you just have to remember this formula. Actually, it's going to be multiple choice, so you just need to know your slope. You guys have to figure out your slope. Alright? We're going to go ahead and do number 10. Write the equation in standard form. Remember what's standard form? Standard form is ax plus by equals c. Of the line that has x-intercept 4, y-intercept 6. Now what does that mean? X-intercept is going to be 4, 0, right? Because it's on the x. Y-intercept, the x is always 0, 0, 6. Okay, if you forget, you just graph it. This is x. Y, x-intercept 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Y-intercept 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it says write it in standard form. So all you do is connect the dots here. You know your y-intercept, so you can write it as y equals mx plus b. Our y-intercept is the b, which is 6. My slope, just rise over run, since it's gonna be it's a negative slope. It's gonna be it's going down. So you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be -6. Sorry, give me a second. So my slope would be -6 over 1, 2, 3, 4. If you notice, actually no. Never mind. If you notice, it's just these numbers, 6 and 4, right? Y over x. And then since it's going down, it's going to be a negative slope. We do have to simplify this. They're both even numbers, so we can divide them both by 2. So it's going to be -3 over 2. So my slope is -3 over 2. X equals y. So now we have y equals mx plus b. But the question saying is to write it in standard form. So all you do is to make it look, you want to solve for C. In this case, you want to solve for B. Okay. Let's solve for B. So all we do is we just move the x, right? We want x to be and x and y on the same side. So I'm going to move this x, so plus 3 over 2x. Since they're not the same variable, plus 3 over 2x. So now I have 3 over 2x plus y equals 6. Okay, so my first step is draw it. Second step, find the slope. Third step, y equals mx plus b. Fourth step, substitute. Fifth step, write in standard form. Okay, if you want to be fancy and you don't want fractions, we're going to multiply everything by 2 by our denominator. So now I'm going to multiply this by 2, everything. This would now be 3x plus 2y equals 12. Okay, if we multiply by the denominator disappears. Okay, this one's going to be a little bit tough. You might need a few practice if you want. If you have a whiteboard at home, probably try it. Let's go ahead and do number 13. If John graphed the line shown below, what would the equation of the line be in slope-intercept form? So this one should be a no-brainer for you guys because we've practiced this so many times. Y equals mx plus b. Where's my b? My b is right there, which is at 0, 2. Okay, my b is 2. And then my slope, we go down 2. So since we're going down, it's going to be a negative. So go down 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We go down, we go to the right 6 times. So it's going to be a positive 6. Let's put it here. M equals negative 2 over 6. Since they're both even numbers, we can divide them both by 2, which is negative 1/3. Or if you did it this way, you go down 1 to the right 3 times, negative 1/3, which confirms it here. So let's plug it in, negative 1/3 x plus 2. So therefore, here's my equation. Just find your point, your b, your y-intercept, and then your slope. So first step, have the formula. Second step, find y-intercept. Third step, find slope. Fourth step, substitute. Okay, number 14, same thing. Now number 15, it says solve for x. Make sure you guys are reading instructions. This is x. I want to isolate x. Which one do I move? B, right? Because we want b by x by itself. So if I move b, I'm going to move b here as well. Remember, do not put it right underneath it because they are not the same. Therefore, now we have x equals 15 minus b, and you're done. Simple. First step, isolate x. That's all you need. Number 17. What was the equation used to create this line? Same thing, guys. This one's just y equals mx plus b. Okay, and then number 18, just tell me whether he's correct or not. Number 19, functions. Remember, to be a function, x values don't repeat. So let's look at this. Negative 6, so negative 6, negative 4, 3, 4, 6. Good, this is a function. Not a function. 0 repeats. This is a function. Not a function because 4 repeats. And then this one, this passes the vertical line test. Passes the vertical line test. Ooh, does not pass the vertical line test. I'll put DNP. Does not pass VLT. This one passes it. Okay, remember it does not pass the VLT because there's multiple points on the x value. Next, what is the solution of the system of equations? Does it have no solution, one solution, or infinitely many solutions? So let's check, is this going to be by elimination or substitution? Well, let's look. Y is isolated. So if Y is isolated, so we use substitution. So then we get 5x plus, instead of y now, I'm going to put this in here. So let me use the first equation. Negative 5x minus 2 equals 3. So positive times negative, still a negative. Positive times negative, still a negative. So 5x equals 3. Next, we combine like terms. This is 0 minus 2 equals 3. Negative 2 equals 3. Is this true? Absolutely not. Therefore, there's no solution. Not true. Right? So no solution. Here, estimate the solution of the system. Remember, your explanation here is the solution is where they intersect. Right here. Okay, now we have to figure out, is it exactly at a point? No, it's in between 1 and 2. Therefore, it's going to be 1.5. My y will be 1.5 and my x will be negative 3. So my answer would be negative 3, 1.5. Okay, don't be scared of decimals. Last question I'm going to go over is number 23. What is the solution? In here, do you see any isolated variable? No, you don't. X might look like it's isolated, but it's actually on the same side as 3 and y. Therefore, what you're going to do is we're going to use elimination. Okay, when we use elimination, we look for the coefficients, and the goal is to match the coefficients. Which one do you want to match first? I think it's easier to match 4x because the coefficient here is just 1 and I can multiply whatever I want to it. So I'm going to multiply the second equation by 4 to match these numbers. Okay, and since they're already opposite signs, I don't have to multiply by a negative. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite the whole problem. I'm going to start with the equation 1. Negative 4x plus 9y equals 9. I'm going to distribute 4 here to all of them. Make sure you're distributing to all. We have 4x minus 12y equals negative 24. Now we can cancel this. This is negative 3y equals negative 15. Then we divide by negative 3 because it's next to the y. Now we have to figure out the x value. Remember, systems of equations, a solution has to have the x and y value. So now we have to find x. So then we plug it in. Let's plug it into the first, actually let's plug it into the second equation. So then we get x minus 3, plug in y for 5 equals negative 6. X minus 15 equals negative 6. Plus 15 plus 15, x equals 9. So my solution, there is one solution at, 9, 5. Okay, and remember, negative divided by negative is positive. So first step, match one of these variables. You could have done y as well by multiplying this by 3, but it doesn't matter. You still get the same answer. So okay, we were canceling out the x. Multiply to all of them to match one of them, right? Cancel, add, divide. Next step, substitute to solve for x. Make sure your y is not changing to an x. Okay, please be careful of that. All right, and that's pretty much the final. I think you guys can do it. Just don't doubt yourselves.